The entire financial system as we know it is evolving. And Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse told us this back in 2020 on what's going to happen, what's coming, and now we even got confirmation from high level individuals at major financial firms telling us the plan as well, and even the BIS. And we're going to really break this down, and I'm going to explain to you guys why Ripple and XRP will be a part of the new financial system, or at least maybe even have a specific role to fill when it comes to the new financial system as well. Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. Here we have a video going all the way back to August of 2020, and we have the way we move money across walled gardens will evolve. Invest in the inevitable. Check this out.
Can easily do it.
Right. Correspondent banking, it was built decades ago. It hasn't really evolved. It's based upon swift messaging between correspondent banks. The cost of supporting that infrastructure, frankly, has gone up. One of the things that changed after the financial crisis of 2009, 2010, it used to be if the Bank of Dan and the Bank of Brad wanted to do cross-border transactions, we'd have what's called Nostro Vostro accounts. It used to be that when I put cash at the Bank of Dan, that counted positively towards my capital ratio. After that financial crisis, we decided that trusting other deposits at other banks may not be as trustworthy as we thought, and so now it doesn't count. And so banks have contracted. The correspondent banking relationships have gone down by 50% in the last 15 years, yet global cross-border transactions continue to grow. So our view is, look, these are technologies from decades ago. We can upgrade them with today's technology, with internet-based technologies, and make this...
Let's be honest, it's very easy to take positions in crypto, but it's extremely hard to actually have a game plan in place when the time comes to take profits. And that's exactly why I released a completely free exit plan that you can apply to literally every single position that you take in crypto. And the best part about it is that it's completely free. All you have to do to get access is go to the link down in the description below and claim your access now. What are you waiting for? Capture those profits.
Real-time transactions.
Yeah.
Now, I already see the comments on this video. Nick, this was back in 2020. It's 4 years later. Yeah, it's 4 years later. Exactly. We're talking about the evolution of the global financial system. Be a little realistic. Step back, grow up, and become mature. How long does it take things to evolve? Let's just put into perspective ISO 20022. Okay? It's a messaging standard. It's a standard regarding messaging that, yes, it will change almost everything around finance. But guess what? Here's the funny thing. ISO 20022 came out in 2004. It's now starting to roll out 20 years later. Do I think that we have 20 years? No. Do I think that's going to take another 5 years? No. We're already starting to see the moves being made now. I don't think that we have much longer to wait when it comes to this new financial system. And I've talked about this already. The only thing that we are waiting for, truly, is regulations in this space. That is the last obstacle. I've talked about this on multiple occasions already. Like I said, focus on regulations. Because once that happens, guess what? The end game begins. Now, talking about that, let's go back to 2019. Because Ripple executive argues that Facebook is building a walled garden with Libra digital currency. And a lot of people said, no, this is going to be successful. It's going to be huge. It's going to be a game changer. And guess what ended up happening? It failed. Why? Because we are not going back to walled gardens. We are moving away from walled gardens. Brad Garlinghouse and what Ripple is doing is exactly what's happening now and what the elites are telling you is coming. Let's go back to 2017, the Internet of Value, what it means and how it benefits everyone. This is the open financial system. We have here that a VC, venture capitalist, calls blockchain the second significant overlay on the internet, just as the web was the first layer back in 1990. When most people think of blockchain, Bitcoin instantly comes to mind. But the potential that excites this venture capitalist and many others goes far beyond financial transactions made using such digital currencies. It touches on what we at Ripple have for many years called the Internet of Value. Now, what is this? Well, not only is it changing the way that money is moved in terms of the cost, the time to settle, things like that, but it's also opening finance up to anyone and everyone that wants to basically be banked. And also, we have down here that the Internet of Value will enable the exchange of any asset that is of value to someone, including stocks, votes, frequent flyer points, securities, intellectual property, music, scientific discoveries, and more. Guess what? This is tokenization. Ripple already knew this back in 2017. They knew what was happening, and now we're starting to see this become a reality. Like I said, Ripple is one of the biggest names behind this. But as we really look at this, okay, anyone and everyone is going to be able to bank themselves essentially through what's happening. This is a completely open financial system. No more walled gardens, no more closed systems. And as we look at banking, everything is going to change. Ripple's vision for the second era of the internet. At Ripple, we believe the most significant benefit of the Internet of Value will be for payments. We provide one frictionless experience to send money globally using the power of blockchain. Making cross-border payments faster, cheaper, and reliable will bring major benefits to consumers, businesses, banks, and governments, while also introducing a standard protocol for how every institution and individual connects across various networks to exchange data. Doing this will connect billions of people around the world to transact, give rise to entirely new businesses and industries, increase financial inclusion for millions of underbanked consumers. Yes, this is the next era of finance and technology. We're now witnessing it. And what's crazy is just recently, and we're talking about at XRP Ledger Apex 2024, unlocking the Internet of Value, Ripple X's SVP, Marcus Infinger, on transforming finance. Blockchain technology is poised to reshape the financial world, and Ripple is at the forefront of this transformation, with its XRP Ledger pushing the boundaries of what's possible. And if we have down here, we want to use blockchain technology to solve friction and problems in the financial market today. As the conference buzzed with innovative ideas and blockchain enthusiast, Infinger's insights stood out, reflecting Ripple's commitment to revolutionizing the financial landscape through pragmatic and sustainable applications of blockchain technology. And we also have down here that our insertion point has really been with payments. Payments take days to settle. They cost an average of 6% today. There's a very obvious value proposition for this technology. And yes, they're still focused on this. We want to use blockchain technology to solve friction and problems in the financial market today. That has been true since day one. And again, they mentioned the fact that payments are extremely inefficient. It's still 6%. It's down 9% from a few years ago, but it's still significant. It shouldn't be 6%. It shouldn't even be 1% technically. And we have down here, expanding beyond payments. They are expanding beyond payments. We're now starting to see a lot of things happening around the XRP Ledger with DeFi, institutional DeFi initiatives and things like that. Obviously, that's great, but we're still kind of focused on the Internet of Value. We still want to see, that happen because that is very significant. And we even have down here that on the Internet of Value, interoperability in the future of blockchain networks. Interoperability between different blockchains is another critical aspect. Marcus pointed out that having thousands of blockchain networks operating independently would replicate the fragmentation seen in traditional financial systems. We believe that the future will be multi-chain. The XRP Ledger won't be the only chain. It needs to work seamlessly with others, he said. The vision of interconnected networks is essential for creating a cohesive financial ecosystem, 100%. We have this vision of the Internet of Value, where money moves as seamlessly as information does today on the internet. The XRP Ledger, with its efficiency and security, will be a central hub for liquidity around financial transactions. This ambition reflects Ripple's commitment to not only expanding its use cases, but also playing a pivotal role in the broader financial landscape. And again, we have one more thing here that really tells us the number one obstacle. 90% of respondents said regulatory issues are the biggest showstopper for using more crypto in payments. There you have it. 100%. The only thing that we are waiting for is regulations. I've talked about it on multiple occasions. The number one thing, the one obstacle that's in our way right now is regulatory clarity. Once we're past that, well, then we start to see everything around the space changing. And here we have that he summarized. We believe the XRP Ledger will be a central hub for the liquidity around financial transactions, powering real-world financial applications and creating a more efficient global financial system. There you have it. And this vision, grounded in practical achievements and forward-thinking strategies, marks Ripple as a trailblazer in the digital payments realm. Now, outside of this, check this out. This is Zoe Cruz. Big shout out to Subjective Views for this. One of the founders of the foreign exchange at Morgan Stanley and former Ripple board member. Any centralized intermediary is going to be disintermediated at some point down the road. Yes, it's exactly like what Facebook was trying to build. We don't want walled gardens. We don't want these intermediaries to be at the center point, being the middlemen. We want to completely cut them out. Check this out.
Reason for an institution to get involved in digital assets today?
I would put it in the context of actually diversification of a portfolio, and to have the right allocation in if you're an asset allocator, an institutional asset allocator, you want to have basically an allocation to a space that matters. And we're all in heated agreement. It's not just AI. It is actually the digital asset revolution is very real. And so you want to have an allocation to a space that's going to have huge upside, but also it will inform you. And so for me, a diversifying asset is important, but it will inform you on all the other things in your portfolio that it might affect. And what I mean by that, so educating yourself by having an allocation that's not so big where you get fired if you have a downdraft, but it's big enough you pay attention, is any intermediary, any centralized intermediary is going to be disintermediated at some point down the road. My favorite example is Spotify. Spotify keeps 30 to 40% of the content provider's revenue. Now, unless you are Taylor Swift, you're going to go there and be happy with a 30 to 40%. There's a token, there's an application right now, a project that says to artists, and again, that's ecumenical and why I'm excited in this space, that it will change the world. The fact that if you're a content provider and I'm a content buyer, we should agree, peer-to-peer agreement on what that exchange is. I'll charge you a percent, not 30 to 40%. It's going to be years before they get Taylor Swift on it. But think about the cumulative geometric progression. The more artists they get, the more artists they get. So if I know how to track that disintermediation process by traditional asset classes, then I know what things in my portfolio I want to be paying attention to.
And she is 100% correct. Listen, as we look at Spotify, let me just put it into perspective real quick. YouTube, okay? Creators on YouTube, they are monetizing their content. They get paid through their content. Google takes 50%. 50% is taken via revenue just for Google. That's how Google makes their money, off of creators. Creators are paid 50%. This is disintermediation in content. Spotify, taking 30 to 40%. Again, this is a significant piece of the pie. In a world, aka Web3, content creators and artists, anyone that is making something and selling it or even monetizing it will reap the rewards. Because the days of the middlemen getting rich, like banks and payments, are over. Those days are done. They're dead. And the reason why I say this is because, just like she said, it's evolving, but also the finternet, the financial system for the future. I bring this up all the time. This is a very significant breakdown from the BIS of what they're doing. And this is to all that are out there saying like, oh, like nothing's happening. They want to completely open the system. They want a financial system that is going to bank everyone. They want everything to be interconnected. They want everything to be connected, just like what we're hearing over here by Ripple in terms of the internet of value, interoperability, connecting everything, a multi-chain future. This is what we're seeing over here. We proposed a concept of the finternet as a vision for the future financial system, multiple financial ecosystems interconnected with each other, much like the internet. That's exactly what Ripple just told us. The finternet would be designed to empower individuals and businesses by placing them at the center of their financial lives. Unified ledgers are a promising vehicle to turn this vision into reality. Grounded on a digital-first approach and leveraging tokenization, unified ledgers would improve existing financial transactions, but also make entirely new financial products and transactions possible. We describe the economic rationale for the finternet, as well as its required technical, regulatory, and legal building blocks. In addition, we lay out 8 fundamental design considerations that we feel should be a core part of the future financial system. And what's funny about this is, we go over here to the speech delivered by Augustin Carstens, which is the general manager of the BIS, we could see something very interesting. It's not just about, tokenization or anything like that. It's about what this really is, okay? First off, they give us they're giving full control, if you will, to anyone in terms of individuals and businesses of their financial lives. They have full control. That's what they're saying here. Can we trust it? We don't know, right? These are central bankers. We can't really trust them. But we have down here that the finternet aims to bring the same kind of progress to financial services. We foresee a system in which individuals and businesses could transfer any financial asset in any amount at any time using any device to anyone else anywhere in the world. Financial transactions would be cheap, secure, and near instantaneous, and they would be available to anyone. Again, this would be a completely open system. There's no intermediaries. There is none of that. Disintermediation is happening. There's not going to be any bottlenecks. There's not going to be any of those middlemen taking a piece of the pie. That's completely cut out. That's where all of those high transaction fees and cost are done. We have down here that it is striking how many financial services and instruments are just not available in many of these countries, particularly to people living in remote areas or who have low incomes. And even when residents can access financial services, high transaction costs and slow services are pervasive. These reflect a number of structural deficiencies, including a lack of competition, inadequate public infrastructure, and bottlenecks induced by legacy systems that have not kept pace with the capacity needs of a modern economy. Again, this is basically reflecting the fact that we need to bank the unbanked. We need everyone to have access to this. We need to cut out the middlemen that are eating off of the backs of anyone that's making a payment. This is where we start to see the evolution of finance that we were warned about for so long. Even down here we have, and it is important to do so now when the technology is mature enough to use. But before we get locked into rigid institutional frameworks or walled gardens, they're literally telling you what's happening. We have the principles behind the finternet is similar. To really unlock the value of financial innovation, we need to bring all of the pieces together and seek to dismantle barriers and silos that exist in the current financial system. That's those walled gardens. That's those intermediaries, those middlemen that are eating, doing nothing. They're just at the middle of the transaction. We have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. This is the BIS telling you this, to revisit the architecture of the financial system. Instead of asking what financial technologies we will use in the future, we should ask what the entire future financial system will look like. And we should figure out how we can make a quantum leap to get there. Again, we are now witnessing history. We literally are witnessing history in front of our face. This entire system is changing. Regardless of if you wanted to or not, it's changing. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.